Okay. Let's see if we can get this thing going. Give me a second. Okay. There we go. Ancients. James Lonergan and Robert Dyer, welcome. Murray, welcome. Thanks for coming in, you guys. How's everybody? Makoto, good morning from Japan. How are you? What's happening? What's happening with everyone? Philly Brian, lock it down and vlog it, baby. Yeah, I'm thinking that I'll probably go out into town later on and do a video. I'm sure it's just dead. Our local mall is even shut down. So not only are the SMs and the Ayalas and the Robinsons, but okay, we are. Oh, James. James is, yeah, you were supposed to come in a little over a week. Wow. Yeah, James, let's hope that after 30 days it's all over. I mean, you know, we'll talk about it a little bit more as we get more people in here, but this could get really bad when you think about how many people are out of work now. And Murray says that things are starting to shut down in Vancouver. Jim Alver says, good morning from toilet paperless Sydney. Mike Foodie, good morning, sir. From Ontario, Robert Dyer. Wait a second. Robert Dyer says, out of toilet paper, but my wife, she's not bothered by it. Yeah. We have TP in the house here, but we just use it to blow our noses. Frederick Walker, good morning. Welcome to the chat. Shit. Boy, this thing is really, really crazy today. Rokon, Montana says, stay safe. There's Walter. Hey, Walter. She was supposed to fly home on the 2nd of April. Okay, what did I miss there? She's supposed to fly home. Oh, your wife is stuck in Beak Hole. Okay. Jim Schultz, good morning. Our resident wooden bowl maker. Jim Schultz makes some awesome wooden bowls in his garage. Man. Brian says the store's been very busy. Ah. Eric De La Cruz, welcome, brother. How are you? Sorry, I'm just catching up. Good morning from Alberta, says JSE. Your Makoto, no TP in Japan. What do you think they did with all that toilet paper? Did they just burn it? Mike Foodie says that in Canada, every day it gets closer to a lockdown. They even want restaurants and bars to shut down. Things are getting different now, says Ancients. James Largan. Wow, Aldi grocery stores. I remember Aldi when I was a kid because I grew up in Indiana. Aldi was a big grocer in Indiana. Aldi and Kroger, I think, were the two big ones in Indiana. Lunch meat and fresh meat case was almost empty. Well, I imagine it's going to get that way here too, eventually. Right now, I don't remember what day we went to the market. We stood in line for quite a while, but there was still plenty of supply. But I would imagine as time goes on, I told Melanie this morning we better get out and buy a sack of rice because we don't know how bad this is going to get, really. We probably should have done that already a couple of days ago. Rokon, Montana says that U.S. schools, bars, restaurants closing left and right. Takeout only. Okay. That's pretty similar to what's happening here. Gary T, greetings from a soon-to-be locked down San Francisco. Yeah, Eric, that's what I was, Eric, that's what I was thinking, is there's people that are going without a paycheck. So what about crime? Is crime going to increase? I don't think that we live here in an area that's going to be dangerous for us, but you never know. People get desperate. And, what if it goes beyond the 30 days? What if at the end, when there's a week left, they say, that they feel like it needs to go a little bit longer? Then what? There's not a lot of people here that can go 30 days without a paycheck. You know what I mean? For many, this is going to be really bad. I was talking to Tito Road. You guys know he employs a lot of people in his business. But the malls are all shut down. So all of his stores are closed now, except for the online stuff that he does. So he said he's going to continue to pay his employees and just, take it out of their paycheck later on. In Ontario, there's only 49 people in a room together. Yeah, I think I read somewhere that on the jeepneys, there's only 10 people allowed on a jeepney. So, as opposed to, I don't know how many they used to put on the jeepney, but they're also controlling the number of people on the LRT and MRT. Restaurants and bars are going to be closing here also. Yeah. Hi, Maddie. You want to go into the bed? When do you go back to the doctor? I don't know. Melanie talked to one of the two hospitals yesterday, and they said that a lot of the specialists are on leave right now. So I may not be able to see a doctor for a week or so. We don't know yet. We got to keep trying to call them. Restaurants now are starting no in dining, only takeout or drive-through. James Lonergan. Canned meat products and peanut butter. Robert Dyer, San Francisco is locked down. SF. Ramel, good morning, North Caloocan or South Caloocan brother. Jim Schultz played golf today. You can buy a beer in the clubhouse, but you have to drink it outside, so it is not considered a restaurant. Oh, the government has closed the casinos and public pools, says Murray. Ramel, currently at home and working from home. Eric De La Cruz says there's police everywhere and military also, so I say good luck to the criminals. Philly Bryan, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. We have, Ramel says, but I do get out, bank and supermarket. You can help the restaurants by buying a gift certificate for later use. Good for Tito Road, yeah. Praying for everyone's safety during this extraordinary time. Okay, Ramel, thanks for stopping by, brother. It's always great to see you here. Zimzim, if I didn't say it, welcome to the chat. Jeff Spicoli, welcome to the chat. And Malos, 63, welcome to the chat. The virus is probably safer than riding a motorcycle in the Manila area. Yeah, that's probably true. Hope everyone is in good spirits. Magandang umaga, Mrs. Morgan. Melanie is got to go out into town. Number one, to pick up some money from Western Union. Something that we didn't think about, and I wish we would have. You know, none of us have been through something like this before. But I should have sent double the money. So also now, the Western Union that we typically go to is inside a mall that's closed. So now we got to find another. The problem with that, you guys, is the fact that when you go to the same Western Union all the time, they know you. So the transaction goes much faster. When you go to a new Western Union, you got to fill out all this paperwork. The virus is, hello, Phil, and hello to the room. Hope everyone is in good spirits. Jeff Spicola, good morning, Philo. Good day to all the chat, says Malo, 63. I work at a nuclear plant, and they're trying to make us sit away 6 feet in the cafeteria. Zim Zim. Yeah, they're practicing what's called social distancing here in the Philippines, which basically means there should be someone on the Jeep and then a space, then someone on the Jeep and a space. You're not allowed to, have that same. So normally when you ride the Jeep, you've got somebody sitting in your lap, basically, but that's not allowed anymore. And as a result of that, it is created a lot of havoc, like in the Commonwealth area of Quezon City. There's just people standing around. The jeepneys are moving half the people, because of this social distancing. Mark McCatherine says, greetings from Angeles City. My first grader is with his mother doing online classes. Okay. Mike Foodie says the gym closed today. Now I have an easy excuse for not going. SF Bokaki says hi to Philo and Melanie. Love It 97, good morning. Welcome to Love It 97. Robert Dyer says Las Vegas. Vegas casinos closing. Well, now there's something you never would have imagined, right? I mean, Vegas is such a, you know, larger than life place to begin with. Robert Dyer. Oh, sorry, Makoto. Makoto, yes, it is mango season. You have to walk in the backyard with your hands over your head. Or maybe we should get our hard hat out. Yeah, they're falling out of the trees. Although the best way is like you saw Melanie doing. She climbs that tree pretty easily, and she is able to get us some really tasty mangoes. Frederick Walker said that Dean Koontz, he's a great author. I've read some of his books. Wrote a book about this called The Eye of Darkness. And it's even the same city that he wrote about. Now that's fairly coincidental. Randy, Canoy in the Philippines. Hello. Good morning, Clyde Seaside. Love at 97. We're all in uncharted waters. Pretty much, yeah. I asked Melanie that when we were talking this morning, she said she's never seen anything like this. Even here in the Philippines. None of us have ever really that I can remember. I don't remember ever having anything like this. It's almost like being in a movie, right? Sometimes you can't believe. I mean, last night we had barangay. Obviously, there's barangay officials. They've also taken ropes and they've closed off all of the basketball nets with heavy duty rope. They've weaved rope around the rim so nobody can play basketball. The kids have been ordered no basketball, and I mean, that really sucks. Now, I haven't been over to the other courts, like over in Senate Village or Union Village, but from what I understand and what some of the kids have told me, I've been talking to the kids in the neighborhood, all the courts are being shut down. Excuse me, guys, just a minute. I think I hear somebody at the gate. Sorry about that, guys. Oozle Finch, good morning. The name of the weapon was changed to Wuhan 400 when the book was released again in '89. Carl K., welcome to the chat. Where was the panic during the H1N1 virus that killed 200,000? Kanoi, Randy says, even when we had SARS in Toronto, it was nothing like this. Yeah. I think we're going to get some rain because the flies are getting really bad. It's a normal sign that we got rain coming. Like we never have flies in this room, and we've got like 3 or 4 right now. It's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to have to go get my swatter towel. Did anyone know of anyone that had the N1H1? I didn't. God, I don't even remember when that was. When was that? When was that N1H1? They say it's always during an election, so it must have been either 4 or 8 years ago, right? Mark McCatherine says this is like the Twilight Zone. Kind of like the Twilight Zone, yeah. Oh, what I was saying to you guys, now we're under quarantine in our barangay. Sorry, not quarantine, but curfew, right? Curfew. So last night, obviously, a couple of people from the barangay, they came through with a siren and a bullhorn telling everybody to get in their home. That was about 8 o'clock. Dennis Adam, good morning. Sorry, I'm just I'm a little bit behind, Dennis. Randy says I was quarantined 2 times during the SARS. Steve Beard, good morning. Only it's worse than a movie. It's a nightmare. Love it 97. Well, I'm regretting 2 things. I wish I would have sent Melanie double the money. So she's going to have to go to Western Union now and do a pickup. And I'm going to have to send her another one. And she's going to have to go back out and do a second pickup. Because we don't really know. I want to send her 2 months worth of money in one trip. Instead of just, because I normally send enough for 1 month for us to last a month. James, Kanoi, Clyde Seaside, I see San Miguel Corporation is asking for government clearance to produce bulk 70% ethyl alcohol, which can be used for sanitizers and other medical purposes and donated to communities. James Lonergan, okay, it was 2009, 11 years ago, N1H1. SF Bokaki says that TP could become the new international universal currency. Where's so I saw a post from Walter that said now it appears that they are going to attempt a lockdown per city. Right? They don't want you to even leave the city that you live in. So I think that's what it was. Walter, if you're still here, SF Bokaki. And we'll bring you on too, Walter, if you're still here. Shit, what's this thing doing? Mark Castro, if you are north Caloocan, is there a certain distance you can only travel to before a checkpoint? That's a good question. I wouldn't think. Now, if I attempted to go over to Malolos, I would probably encounter a checkpoint. I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm gonna talk to Tito Road a little bit later on and see if he has come across any. Tito Road posted something on Facebook the other day. They were on the NLEX on Sunday. He was the only car. There was nobody else on the NLEX, which is hard to imagine, but it. Mark Castro, my understanding is I should be able to stay within the NCR region, which means Melanie and I could jump on the motorbike and go all the way to Mall of Asia if we wanted to, but it probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to do, considering what's happening.
Okay. what's happening. Check it out.
Siri. Hi, my friend. Long time no chat, my friend. Pasoy poop. Pisong Panoy. Good morning. Yeah. San Miguel making alcohol for your hands. Hand sanitizer. Carl Fernand, if I didn't say it, welcome to the chat. Here in San Francisco, it is locked down, but I am a security guard, so I still have to work. Okay. Oscar Barragan, welcome to the chat. We've got 49 in here, 25 minutes in. That's pretty good. Take care everywhere, wherever you are tonight, even here in Folsom, California. It's getting stupid. Terrence Walters, how much is enough for 1 month? About 1,000 USD. Sorry, you guys, this thing is jumping. Walter, okay, there's Walter. All of Luzon is now on a lockdown. Okay. Huh. So I wonder if that means you can't leave the city you live in. I wonder what that actually means. Pu Song Panoy says, I'm here in Southgate, California, and things are kind of normal, but I'm in a ministry school to where we'd kind of lock down lightly. I'm in a, I think your phone did a autocorrect on you there. How are people going to pay their bills when not working? Yeah, Mike. Pusong Panoy says, my wife is in Tagum, and they have a curfew from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Yeah. Our curfew here starts at 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. I should have went down the street to see if all the Sorry Sorry stores closed. I would imagine it's okay to walk down to Sorry Sorry and buy a Mountain Dew or something. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'll let you guys know. At Mike Foodie. Okay, that's not for me. Makoto says, besides the shortages of paper products and schools being closed here in Tokyo, everything seems normal. Paper products. Damn flies. Dennis Adam, yeah, takeout only. Somebody else said that too, Dennis. I believe California, and I've heard several places in Seattle have converted to delivery only. Clyde says, Tom Hanks and his wife, I saw that. Oh, they're in Australia. And they both tested positive and have infected others. Wow. Adrian Smith says, my company in Huntington Beach, love that place, is working remotely. Yeah, my sister in Seattle is also working remotely. Mark Castro says, my only concern now is if we travel to the Philippines now, would we be allowed to enter Amparo subdivision, which is there in North Caloocan? Mark, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, buddy. I have seen only through Facebook groups, expat Facebook groups, and other things on the internet, the international flight is still open at NAIA. But is it the best time to come here? I'm not sure. Yeah. Steve Beer says AT&T's having problems in the Bay Area. Terrence Walter says Clark International Airport was open yesterday, but it's not sure about tomorrow. Ada Myers, stay home. Stay home. No need to eat, just sleep. I think your autocorrect messed with your Comment two, Oscar Baragon, my wife is a cashier at Walmart. Oh, Melanie used to be a cashier at Walmart. And people are seriously panic buying all the cans, meat, and paper products. Yeah. Malou and the kids will not leave the house for 2 to 3 weeks. I am the only one allowed out. Well, Randy, that would really affect you because you travel, yeah, for your business. I mean, that could really affect you. It's one thing if you're working in a factory. Although I wonder, that factory that you were working at before, are they shut down too because of, you know, people working so many people working in an area close together? Mike Caloocan, Fort Lauderdale Beach and Miami South Beach closed, shutting down spring break. Mark C says, I think he would be quarantined for 2 weeks. And he's talking to, yeah, Clyde Seaside. Since when have you walked the sorry for Mountain Dew? Mountain Dew's the new code word for Red Horse. Well, I was just using that as an example. If I heard if you are on an international flight, you will be self-quarantined for 14 days. Self-quarantine. Ada Meyer says maybe they're going to give free food. I don't know. Breaking traditions. Howdy, Philo. Delta sent me a refund. Oh, okay. Delta sent you a refund. Well, that's, the one thing that I've heard is everybody's getting their money back. Of course. Nobody has, charging my GoPro batteries here. Nobody has said that they're having any issues with the airlines. Everyone seems to be. Paul Ray, good morning from Las Vegas. Ed Crandall, good morning, sir. Most are teleworking, yeah. Telecommuting, teleworking. Steve Beard says that all the casinos and bars are closing in Nevada. Wow. Now, man, that is a big order. Closing all the bars and casinos in Nevada. That's got to be the place where there's more bars, casinos than anywhere in the world. Randy says somebody came back, a friend of his, and got quarantined. So I wonder what happens. How does that happen? Do they have like a bus at the airport, a school bus they put everybody on and take you to the hospital? Clyde Seaside, PLDT, and Smart have said they will give a month free, no bills. PLDT. We have PLDT. Okay. Randy Canoy says the factory has not stopped yet, and he will work as long as they allow him to. James Lonergan, the big problem is that 153 medications for serious illness only made in China. 153 medications. Paul Ray says Wynn and Encore shut down their operations. Wow. Micah Caloocan says, during the Persian Gulf War, many vets got sick from experimental anthrax. USA stock market is down 3,000 points today. Hey, and I'm not worried about the stock market anymore because I'm no longer invested. My investment account all got moved to an income fund. So many people who have those fat 401ks probably lost a couple of $100,000 in one day. SF Bokaki, Brian and AC has a video out of the bars locked down today. Yeah, I didn't get to watch that this morning. The liquor stores are going to be doing a lot of business with bars being closed. Bill Bryant. Dennis Adams, someone told me that something in bananas helps to kill the virus. Yeah, I read that too. We just had a big bunch that Tito Road brought us. Oscar Baragan, welcome to the chat. If I didn't say that already, got sick from the anthrax virus, or sorry, vaccine. Micah Coolian says potassium. Okay, Walter. Sorry, I get behind on the comments, and then this is for Walter to join the chat if he wants to. Don't forget, Walter, when you come in to mute your YouTube. Mute the YouTube and just use the StreamYard window, okay? Mike Foodie says, Jack Dakar, welcome to the chat. What are your thoughts on Israel? Sorry, Jack, I have no thoughts at all on Israel. Maybe you can help us out with that. I'm living in the Philippines here. I don't get a lot of international type news, so I don't know what to think about Israel. Sorry. World oil prices are seriously low. So is the Canadian dollar. Steve Beard, shipping from China to the U.S. was limited for the last 2 months. Our ports are empty. Yeah. Oh. Hang in there. Sorry, you guys. I hear somebody at the gate again. Sorry about that. Okay. I want to open this door and let these flies out, but I'm afraid more are going to come in. We must have rain coming. Okay, where am I at? Shipping from China to the U.S. was limited for the last 2 months. Mike Foodie is asking, food supplies from China. Fortune cookie shortage. Research. Oh, there's Walter. Hey, buddy. Here he is. How you doing?
Hey, Pyro, what's up?
Okay, research. This is James. Research shows burning sage, also referred to as smudging, in a room for an hour reduced airborne bacteria by 94%. It also showed that the room stayed almost entirely bacteria-free for 24 hours. Wow. David Kiernan says, hi, mate. I'm thinking of coming to Manila in October. What do you think? Well, October
Should be good.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't know. October sounds like a fine month to come. Much better than April.
Right now, things are changing by the day. Every day.
Yeah, every day you wake up and there's something new.
It's crazy.
Better stock up on kiwi mushrooms and mixed fruit. SF Okaki says anyone who's on blood pressure medication needs to stock up because most of them come from China. Okay. Bill Bryant said this is a virus and not a bacteria thing. James, I guess your LTC boxes. Yeah, James, you mailed your ballot binding boxes already, huh? Walter, now that I got what do you understand the Luzon lockdown to be? Does that mean that you can't leave the city of Malolos? How do you interpret it?
I watched a news conference last night about it, and they didn't really clarify that, whether you're locked down to your city, but they basically said that they want to restrict any travel as much as possible, and they're going to try to be strict on that. That's why the lockdown for just Metro Manila wasn't going to work, because all these people are coming up to the checkpoints, and then only some of them are being let in, and it was just a total mess. I was watching video of the news, and it was a total mess. Everything was just, buses were allowed to come in with people that had ID, that they worked in Manila, and so they would stop and verify that. But you're only supposed to set a person there. There has to be a seat in between you and the next person on the bus. So the buses are only half full, but the buses are showing up completely full. So now half the people off each bus are offloaded at the checkpoints, and everyone's just standing around going, "Not cool." And so it's no wonder. Oh yeah, they had to offload them, because once you come in, the rule is there has to be somebody. There has to be an empty seat between you and the next person. But the buses were showing up there, like those coming from up here in Bulacan and beyond. They're showing up with people still standing in the aisles, 110% full. And so now half the people can't get back on the bus at the checkpoint. So that was a huge mess, along with just one after another. So that's why they called for the whole damn island to be locked down.
Wow.
And the way they described it on there is they want to strict limit on travel of any kind. Basically, they're telling everybody, go out for your food and medicine, otherwise stay home.
Okay.
If you have an essential business, bank, supermarket, pharmacy, something to that effect, then yeah, you can. We need you. We do need you at work. Basically, they are saying to them, those are people that we do need to show up and work, and everybody else basically stay home. So, I'm sure there's going to be updates to this coming out probably as we're speaking right now. There's updates coming out on the news and stuff right now. So who knows? God, this could all change by tonight, tomorrow. This is like a bad B movie, but it's real. So I don't know. It's kind of strange.
Oozle Finch says California and Louisiana grow plenty of rice. James says, I hope I can fly in 30 days, otherwise I'll have LBC hold them in Bacolod.
Oh, that was one thing they clarified was for travel. If you are a foreigner and you are trying to travel out of the Philippines, you have 72 hours to get to the airport and get on your flight and get out. After 72 hours, which is what, the 20th of March, 19th, 20th of March, anything past that, no more international travel out. And there is no international travel in unless you are, um, I may be wrong on this, but before they were saying if you were a permanent resident or a dependent of a Philippine citizen, you would be allowed back in. But are the airlines going to even fly if they can't even haul people? I doubt the airlines are going to fly because they need, the airlines need 75 to 80% seat capacity before they start making any money. So flying these airplanes empty, the airlines are not going to continue to do that.
Okay, we got a few questions here. Comments. Are you two defining the cross-platform laws on YouTube? I don't know. Well, I don't think I wouldn't be the one who's defying it. It would be Walter.
I'm sorry. That I didn't catch all of that real clear. Can you repeat it?
He's making a joke about you and I doing a live stream and you defying the boundary lines.
Oh my God. This is like a B movie because they would have people online like this talking about, oh my God, there's a checkpoint down here in the next barangay, and we're talking about how we can get around the checkpoints and stuff like that. This is like this is really strange.
Here's another good question. What do you suggest people do about their visas that are expiring or expired now while they are there during the lockdown?
I think visas are the last thing that they really care about taking care of right now.
Yeah.
I really do. It's a medical emergency. It's a national emergency. The last thing I think they really are going to worry about is that. Now, are they going to give you a break on it when everything opens back up and you can go in? Are they going to fine you for the overstay time? Are they going to give an exemption to it? Who knows? Certainly, if you've been overstay for 6 months before all this started, well, I think you're not going to have a chance. But if you can show that, this happened during, I need to go in by March, 25th or something like that, then yeah, I think you have a legitimate thing. But I haven't seen anything yet about, what the status is on that. But right now, I just don't think they really care about trying to deal with that. They've got a lot of other issues down the line, and so that'll come probably quite a bit later.
Right. Clyde Seaside is asking doing it with non-payers, so I'm guessing the government agencies will have to make allowances like expired visas. Good comment.
Yeah.
Batlash_PH, welcome to the chat. Batlash, Walter is in Malolos, Caloocan. By the way, his channel is Pirate Cove Philippines. It's not just Pirate Cove Philippines. There's 2 beers. Welcome to the chat, 2 beers. Canada has closed all of their borders except for permanent resident citizens. Gary T says, Walter, thank you for your perspective. Are people getting scared? I don't know. I don't think people are getting scared, at least here where I live.
No.
After a couple of weeks without a paycheck, I think people are going to start getting scared.
That's true.
There's so many people now that aren't working because of this and that rely on that money, Mike Foodie says, Philo, your audio is breaking up sometimes. Okay. Let me take a look at that microphone. Audio. Looks like it's working. Okay. Zim says I'm buying a sale, so I can go anywhere.
Well, hey, we got masks for sale. You need masks?
There you go.
One of our better selling items right now.
I bet.
I don't know if you can hear the sewing machine grinding out just outside this wall, but there's 2 or 3 of them going out there right now. We just did an order of 2,000, and I think they got an order right now of 1,000 going.
Oh my God.
People are ordering masks. You can do the reversible, whatever you need. We got it here.
Oozle Finch says, I would bet these travel restrictions last 90 days, assuming this ploy works. Why the panic? David Kiernan is asking, what do you think, October or January or February of next year? David Kiernan, there's just no way that we could even predict it. We have no way of knowing. It's going to come down to a little bit of luck, I think, for a lot of people.
I'll check next week's live stream. There'll be plenty to talk about by then. That's a week away.
Who knows what will change between now and next Tuesday? Exactly. Are international flights still going on in Manila Airport?
I'm not really sure how that's going to work. Yeah. I haven't seen no definition on that yet. I believe not. I believe they're not going to let Filipinos in or out, and they gave 72 hours for foreigners to get out.
Yeah. If you want to leave, you got 72 hours to leave.
And how you're going to get to the airport if they've got restricted travel, I don't know. So who knows? I'm glad I got a permanent resident, and I can just lock down right here, and I can get the Red Horse. I'm sorry, not Red Horse, Mountain Dew, right? Mountain Dew. I can get the Mountain Dew next door, and I'm good to go.
Robert Dyer, what money fund did you go into after half on Infidelity money market? Robert Dyer, I've been with Vanguard for over 30 years, investing money through them in a 401k. And what happened was, before I came to the Philippines, your typical strategy with a 401k is 80% high risk, 20% low risk with the money you're investing. But when you get close to retirement, you want to take all of that and put it into, you want to move the entire balance into what's called an income fund, which gives you a standard 3% a year or something like that, so that you don't have to go up, you don't have to ride that stock market wave anymore, And I don't remember which income fund that I invested in. I'd have to look that up. But anyway, that's what I did. SF Bokaki, within a week, some geek will have a get around the Roadblocks app. Just watch. A Roadblocks app, yeah. Jim Schultz says, I hear WD-40 will kill the virus.
Didn't do a damn thing for your elbow, though, did it? No,
it sure didn't. Robert Dyer says, no sports and not even Formula One. Did they cancel Formula One too?
Yep.
I guess they would, because that's a giant crowd of people. Yeah.
This weekend is supposed to be Thailand for the MotoGP, and that one's canceled. I know. You go through the winter waiting for the new season to come up, and oh well. I guess there's worse things right now.
Thailand, I'll go to sometime. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Oh, I know. That would be fantastic.
The flights into Bangkok aren't too overly expensive, so it wouldn't be, a whole lot of money to do something like that. That would be cool to see MotoGP in person.
Oh man! That would be great.
Yeah.
I used to go see it at Laguna Seca all the time.
Oh, did you, man?
Oh yeah, yeah. I did several years up there doing that.
I've never seen MotoGP. I've seen Formula One a couple of times, but I've never seen MotoGP.
Well, back when I was going, it was still called just GP.
Yeah,
Old school.
you did your share of racing in that venue too, didn't you?
I did 2 races at Laguna Seca, and a couple at what's at Sonoma. Back then they called it. Oh, I forget what they called it. The one in Sonoma, though. Most of the races I did uh, was up there in the high desert at Willow Springs International. But I did do 2 of the last races at the old Riverside International before it was tore down, and they made condos on there. Yeah, in fact, the one race was the last motorcycle race ever held there, and I got to run that one. That was in like 1987,
Wow.
just a few years ago, when I could fit in a pair of leathers.
Okay, let's catch up here. I saw, okay. Banana protein may help kill viruses. Now, bananas could provide a new weapon against viruses, according to a recently published study. A protein known as lectin. Mike Foodie says that Jim Baker has the cure. Dr. Wong's sulfur soap for $25 plus $25 for shipping. Wow. On eBay.
Oh, hey, thanks, Jeff. That was Sears Point. I was trying to get out. A little problem with the brain there. Yeah, back when I was there, it was Sears Point.
I remember it. Actually, I remember it being called Sears Point for NASCAR as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was pretty cool. Now it's what, Infineon? Is that Infineon, or they did call it that for a while? I'm not sure.
James says, I hope if they stop international flights, Eva will notify me right away. Eva's pretty good. I bet they will. It seems like the airlines have been really good with this, handling the passengers and the rerouting and the refunds and everything else associated with it. With them still developing vaccines and some just starting human trials, I doubt anyone will be traveling for 3 months. Clyde Seaside. Jim Solk says WD-40 is great for your prostate too. So what happens if a family doesn't go in 72 hours? How long are you stuck in the Philippines for? Good question.
You're along for the ride.
Clyde Seaside says, I think there will be a big increase in Netflix subscriptions. Good call. The quicker the lockdowns come into play, the quicker they can wrestle this chimp under control. In 9 months, a huge increase in babies being born.
No.
Just talked with my dad. He is in a nursing home in Grants Pass, Oregon. They have stopped visiting and closed the cafeteria, now delivering meals to the rooms. Tropical Tim, welcome to the chat, brother.
All right, TT's in the house.
Tropical Tim. Tondo Tropical Tim. Now there's a place that must have changed quite a bit, or maybe not. Tondo. Such a busy place at night, and it probably. Let's see, where are we at? Shit, this thing keeps jumping on me now. Okay, after. One thing can be certain is that containment policies are being made on the run. Yeah, I don't think it's something you can practice for. Hi, Ducky.
You see this? Very cute.
The Mali eat na pusa.
Bye-bye.
John Rosario, good morning, brother. From Guam. 2 hours ahead of me. Did you guys ever go racing in the streets of Long Beach? No, but I've been to the Long Beach Grand Prix several times.
I never made it to that one.
Tropical Tim said he's 2 hours ahead and has a beer. It's just Sonoma Race Park now. Okay. Tropical Tim said it's called Champagne, the champagne of beers. Wasn't that Miller High Life? Wasn't that the champagne of beers in the U.S.? A retired sailor, welcome to the chat. If you can run out of toilet paper, let me know. I have buckets of corn cobs. Wow, look who came into the chat. Mrs. Heminger. Wow. Mrs. Heminger, we are still, the markets are the only thing that are still open. The Save More, the Pure Gold. Those are the only places that are still open. Tropical Tim, you can use empty San Mig bottles for TP and then just return them. Paul Ray says the Metropolitan Resort temporarily cease all resort casino operations. Yeah. One by one, they're all shutting down. Right. The news out of the U.S. is that there is a run on guns and ammo happening.
Yeah. Well, that happens every time something like this goes down.
Yeah. Miller High Life was the champagne and beers in the U.S., and here it's San Miguel. This is one time. This is one time I'm glad I'm in the U.S. I didn't want to be overseas during this mess. Good comment.
I don't know. I think we might be just fine here where we're at too.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty big mess in the U.S. actually.
Really, and it's probably going to get worse. You know what I was going to say is the whole idea behind this this lockdown, and other countries are doing it too, is because of the information coming out of Italy, and the problem is that you're not going to stop the virus with this lockdown. What you're going to do is slow it down, because if it continues on the scale that it is right now, it's going to peak, and there will be a peak of those people that do have to go to the hospital, which is not that many percentage wise, but when you have so many get infected, and then there are not enough beds and not enough people to attend to the people that are sick. So if you can slow it down and spread it out over a little bit more time, the people that are sick that actually do need hospitalization, which is only about 10 or 15%, they'll rotate in and rotate out, and then more people can rotate in. But what's happened in Italy is it's all peaking at one time. There's not enough beds. There's not enough doctors to attend to people. There's not enough equipment. And they're having to choose who lives and who dies. And that's why just day before yesterday, they had 368 fatalities in Italy alone.
Wow.
One day. So that's the whole idea behind all this. It's not to stop it. It's to try to slow it down, because probably everybody's going to get it anyway.
Yeah. how did with this so badly? What was the? There's obviously a big connection between China and Italy somehow, right? How did they
Uh,
get so many
they,
cases? It's worse.
they just did not do anything about shutting down the border, curtailing flights, or in any way, shape, or form. They
Uh,
just like said, you know, and they just didn't. They didn't do a thing. So that's why they're looking at the comparison between what is it, South Korea, and the way South Korea aggressively got after it and aggressively got to testing and all that stuff, and Italy, because at least we have the numbers that we get from them we can trust. Where China and Iran, which are the other two bad ones, we can't really trust their data. But they're
right.
looking at all this data from both of those countries and saying, "Ooh, the comparison for not acting and acting are huge, are just massively huge."
Amo, well, says I got to work today and found out that they shut down 7 counties in the Bay Area for 3 weeks, and my county is one of them.
Oh,
Kenneth C. Holzer, welcome to the chat. And he says that everything's okay in General Santos. Curfew at 9 p.m. Jim Schultz is asking, is there a normal flu season in the Philippines?
I think it's about the same.
You know, that's a good question. The weather here really does not change that much over 12 years, right? 12 months.
I always seem to get the flu uh, at least once a year, and it's always when the climate changes kind of drastically. And it doesn't really change drastically here, but it has recently. It was rather cool, and now it went rather hot, kind of quick. So it is. It is. The most I could say close to that. But like back in Arizona, Southern California, whenever that big change of temperature, I would seem to get it, or at least a bad cold.
Yeah. Here it's really rain. That's the biggest difference that you see.
Yeah,
It's like everything's hot and dry, and then all of a sudden somebody flips the switch, and it rains 4 inches every day.
yeah. Hot and dry, and then hot and wet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Tropical Tim, I said on my live the other night that I make it out to be the flu on steroids.
Well, at least this one isn't affecting kids, and that as much. That's the one good thing about this. But they say this one's many more times contagious, so
Okay.
it's real easy to get this from somebody else than the regular flu. But at least it's not, affecting the children that much.
Clyde Seaside says most infections in Australia are as a result of contact with people returning from Italy and Iran.
Wow. So I wonder if they're going to lock down or what. I haven't heard much coming out of Australia yet. I really haven't. You need to update us, Clyde.
Bill Bryant says, I never get the flu unless I get the flu shot within 2 weeks. Yeah,
I've heard that many times, many people.
I've never had a flu shot in my life. I just didn't believe in it.
I do feed these cats. They get fed better than I do. They're spoiled, terribly spoiled.
Even my company gave us the shots for free. I never got one. Tropical Tim says, my bottles of beer won't let me hold them unless I wash my hands.
Self-medication.
Tropical Tim, I'll put the link in there if you want to join us.
Oh, yeah, get him in here.
Tondo Tim, hold on a second.
He, not too long ago, he did his first live stream, and I got to happen to be just kind of floating around and on there and caught it. It was a hoot. Oh my God. He was in rare form, and that was his first live stream. He's got those going good now.
Mike Foodie says, wait a second. James says, I just got my flu shot 2 weeks ago, and my TDAP, no issues. Mike Foodie says, this year is my first flu shot and no flu so far. Well, you know, I wasn't necessarily a rebel. I just rarely, when I was in the USA and I was a working stiff, one of the things I was lucky with is I very rarely ever got sick, you know. Wait a second, you guys. That's Melanie. She's Melanie's hoping to score a sack of rice at field goal while she's there at Western Union. Looks like she's going to be a while. There's a long line going out the door at field goal. So,
Wow. I went to Robinson Supermarket yesterday morning, but I always go that 1 hour early before the mall would open normally, and like I always do, and it was no problem. It was just like normal. One thing I did notice, there was no delivery trucks, but I'm not even sure if the mall opened up after that. I go in about 9 and the mall opens at 10. So it's so much easier to hit the supermarket up and nobody's in there to begin with. But we'll see if that still goes next week. Hopefully it will. Tim's going to switch to another device. Right. He's going to go open up a couple more beers to put next to the camera. They said you need to be fed. You don't need to be fed. You're just spoiled. Now go.
sorry, just give me a second. I didn't realize that. I thought that she was going to go into live stream.
All right. So Clyde was saying that they acted early and didn't let things get overrun. And that seems to be what's really making the difference. You know, kind of spreading this out over a little bit more time where you can respond to it. I'm sure it's going to slow the spread, and probably less people will actually be affected by it. But the biggest reason for it is just so that there's not a peak and then people can't be taken care of at the hospital. That's the big part.
Hanoi, thanks for coming by. James Lonergan says, I worked collecting specimens, and I was in and out of many labs with open samples, never got sick.
Boy, I'd be nervous with that job now, huh?
There he is.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Big TT. All right.
You hear me okay?
Yeah, everything's good, brother. Thanks for coming in.
Good.
No problem. No problem. Thanks for having me. How's everyone doing?
So far, so good.
We're all a bunch of convicts right now, aren't we?
That's
sure.
it.
Huh? Robert
Man.
Dyer, there is a report that a drug,
Excuse me.
chloroquine phosphate, is being considered as a strong candidate to treat the coronavirus. Let's hope that's right. Clyde Seaside said, Walter, we have not been overrun by the virus, but our government got on the front foot early with isolating people coming from overseas and testing facilities. There you go. Zyklon
Yeah.
D, how many children does Geo have back in the U.S.? I couldn't tell you. I don't know anything about Geo's personal life. Not my business.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on that
Yeah.
one, James.
I mean, we're just underway on this lockdown. Obviously, this is day 3. Yeah, and unbelievable. Neighbors, neighbors from where we used to live, friends of my wife's sister. They're coming out of the woodwork already, looking for loans, asking my wife for loans, anywhere from, check this out. And I said this on my live the other night too. 1,000 pesos, $20, to 40,000 pesos. You know, $800. Like, why do you need? You know, I'm through my wife. I'm asking, why do they want? And of course, my wife told them, pack sand. You know, because she knows what my response to that's going to be. And why do you need, you know, 40,000 pesos, $800 to keep their business afloat? And I was like, did you see outside my door? Was there a little sign, you know, mounted there, swaying in the breeze that said Bank of Tropical Tim? It's just unbelievable. We're only 3 days into it, and yesterday they were already, yeah, they're dropping hints around this person through that person, the Bamboo Network through that person. Yeah, they need 2,500 pesos, whatever, and they never get it from me, never. My wife gets her monthly allotment, a retainer fee, for sticking with me for 38 years. And what she does with it, I don't care. That's hers. I don't question it. Once in a blue moon, I say, well, why did you buy that for him or for her? If it's a family member, something, you know, just bounce something off me. But in the end, it's your money. But if you're out by the 21st of the month, pack sand, too bad. That's it. You do what you want. It's your money. You're entitled to that. But yeah, they're already hitting us up. And I was like, wow, this soon? I could see 15 days into it. People are rooting around for a few pesos, but already. So there's going to be a huge impact, I think. And I think the people here know it too.
Big TT banking industries. That's one thing that is for sure. If the big TT bank is open, you get a free San Mid Pilsner with every new account.
Yeah, how much you got to do to get one of those T-shirts you got?
That is
What's
a nice.
that?
Look at that.
Yeah, we hand out one of these for every loan that you take out, but you may not want it because the interest rates are staggering, just staggering. And then of course you have to provide collateral.
Yeah.
Well, this week I think we only need about a 25,000 peso loan. So, well, is that enough for a T-shirt?
I think the shirt costs 26,000, if I remember right. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, we were monitoring the news last night. I was on my live, and Ray was sitting like right up next to the TV with it down loud enough so she could hear it because Duterte was talking. I don't know if you guys saw it, and trying to wait to see if he was going to actually implement house lockdown, because there was talk about it. And of course, all the news reporters that were interested in hearing this. But what he did instead was he delegated down to the barangay level, which of course is the lowest level, not in a sarcastic way, but lowest level of government they have here. And we all know what barangays jobs are. They're basically a neighborhood watch that helps support the old people, break up little fights, collect the loose dogs, supposedly get the kids off the street by 10, yada yada yada. So it's really up to them what the movement within each barangay is going to be like. So I mean, I can travel from my barangay and go into barangay 77, but then I can't go through barangay 86 or 123 or, so it's going to be really weird. So I kind of take that as pretty close to a house arrest, a house lockdown, because you still got to go out and get food now and again, or maybe some medicine, or just, I don't know. I'm just saying, how do you pay your bills if you don't have online bill pay here? We don't. We walk to whatever and pay our electric bill, pay our water bill, yada, yada, yada. So it's going to have an impact. I think as adults, we just got to stay one step ahead of the game. Don't panic and just kind of figure things out as best as possible. There will be an impact of sorts.
Oh, yeah.
So what I read, is if there are 2 cases of the virus within the same barangay, and those 2 cases live in separate residences, then they're going to lock the barangay down.
Mm.
Well, my wife Ray, just went out the door just now. She had shopped yesterday. Yesterday, she went to immigration up at SM North. They were open because she showed them our plane tickets for Air Asia round trip tickets that were supposed to fly out on the 31st and come back on the 1st from Taipei, and said, she told them, we can't fly. What's our next option? What should we be looking to do? And they all broke out their violins and started playing them and said, in a nice roundabout way, tough shit. Better get here before the expiration of your visa, which is on the 3rd. No, I'm sorry, the 4th of April. And pick one 1-month extension, 2, 6, whatever. So that's fine. If we got to do that, we got to do that. And of course, Philippine Airlines came out on my news feeds and said, yes, they're going to allow people who have tickets up to the 14th to either extend for another date or get a full refund. Air Asia came out and followed them and said the same thing. Cebu Pacific came out and only went halfway and said, we'll let you extend after the 14th, but we ain't giving your money back. So your butt's getting in a plane if you got something booked up to the 14th with Cebu. So anyway, we're going to have to make a choice and see what we want to do from there. So then she walks all the way across empty, only 10% she guesstimated of all the shops in that big SM North Mall were open. No restaurants. And of course, they were asking her along the way, what are you doing here? Where are you going? Where are you from? And they let her pass. So she walked out the other end, walked across street to where all those travel agencies are. Air Asia has their own place. And there's a big chain with a padlock on it with a number to call posted on the door. So her whole trip was for crap. She comes all the way back home, and we're trying to call the numbers, going online trying to call numbers. No answer, no nothing. Then she finally got to a, what do you call this? You kind of just request the refund online or something like that. Filled in all the information, date, flight number, this, that, whatever, names, all for it to end up responding to her saying, sorry, this refund is not available. So there's $280 laying out in limbo. I'm sure we'll get it back. I'll get it back. Or someone's going down, but no big deal, not an emergency. So yeah, it's just like that. Bam, you're stuck. You're kind of stuck. So we'll see. End of the month, we're just going to go back up there and say, I don't know. We're thinking about, see, Philo was saying, remember, in a JLB's room, that he thought, and maybe you can respond to this, Walter, he thought a 6-month extension on a Balikbayan was 2,000 pesos. It's not. Matter of fact, it's not even a Balikbayan extension. They drop you to a tourist visa, and you go from there 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. Well, for 6 months, they want $300 each for both of us because she's a U.S. citizen. So 15 grand each for 6 months. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I've had others tell me that that's what I used to think it was. And then some people came on and straightened me out that no, there is actual extension for a BB stamp, and it's 6 months was supposed to be 2,700. So I don't know because
now we're thinking
that's how I used to know it was supposed to be. They drop you onto a tourist visa.
right now. When she went there, it was open, and it was dead. She said like there was hardly anybody in there. So we're thinking with uh, the unavailability to have freedom of movement that maybe the big immigration one over in where's that, Intramuros or wherever,
Right.
the big one, they may not be as busy either. So we're gonna walk over there and see if they tell us something different, just to get it from two different horses' mouths, if you will. Because we weren't sure. We heard what Philo had said. I heard what you said, and I said, "What? 15,000 apiece?" They said, "Yeah, it's always been that way." I was like, "Whoa, whoa." Um, I don't know. The 1 month is 5,000 plus. The 2 month is 6,900, and the 6 month is 15,000 or $300. So
Wow.
yeah, we're just standing there like, whoa.
Tim, I have a question. If your wife is the holder of a U.S. passport and you enter the country with her, that makes you ineligible for the Balak buy-in, doesn't it? Because she's a
Makes
U.S.
me what?
It makes you ineligible for the Balak buy-in stamp because she's a U.S. citizen.
No, we've been on Balak buy-in since we got here last April 4th.
Okay.
No,
Yep.
she can still be. She, even though she's a U.S. citizen, she can still be. Now, I do have to wonder if, because of that, and she's not a dual citizen,
Not yet. She's not.
that has
No.
anything to do with it. And
Yeah, I
maybe
don't
that
know.
that could have something different with the two different stories that I have heard about it.
So they're basically treating her like a U.S. citizen, an American.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. Now it's different for you, Pilo, isn't it? Is Melanie a dual citizen?
She's not. Melanie is a Filipino passport holder.
So I gotta wonder how it's going to be if you guys go in and ask for the extension. How they're going to treat that?
Stay
'Cause
tuned.
it would be
Yeah.
different from his.
We'll be going in the beginning of May, so I think it's going to be a great topic. I was shocked to hear what Tropical Tim said about it. I was the one who
Because
recommended him to go, get the 6-month extension.
because the way I understood it was the way before. This was months ago. Was just how he described it, is that they drop you onto a tourist visa and you got to pay those fees. And I got blasted in a couple I think it was a live stream, and I just got blasted by people telling me I don't know what I'm talking about and all this other stuff. And I said, that's the way I understand it to be. And they said, no, it's not. And this was coming, a couple of them were Filipinos, the spouse. And they were saying, no, it's this, and it's this amount for 6 months and all that. And so I was like taken back and went, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. So I don't know. That's going to be real interesting to find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm sorry, Philo. We paused. Oops, wait, what's coming here? Uh-oh.
There's Mama.
Yep, coming back from shopping.
Hi, Mama.
That's my beer guy bringing my beer.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You were getting beer delivered on the last time you were on my live stream.
I probably already had 4 other deliveries since then, Philo.
Oh yeah, I know that, but it seems like Tuesday between 9 and 11 is one of the delivery times.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, look at that. Right in there, stack them up. Is 10 cases? Would 10 cases be considered hoarding?
Not in
No.
your case.
No.
Oh well. So yeah,
Normal consumption.
yeah, right. We didn't. Yeah, and I'm not even having a party. No one's even coming over that I know of. And if they do, I just send my wife or one of my boys downstairs hanging out, leaning up against the telephone pole, and say, "Go get some Red Horse," because I'm not giving up any of my beer. So we stood there that day and really kind of were pressing them. Are you sure? Like I'm going to question their authority or what they know, but I did it in the right diplomatic way, and I'm just like, when did it change to $300? $15,000, whatever it was. When did it's not changed? It's been that way. From a guy and a girl that are out front, inside, but they're one of the first desks, and they were really nice to us. They were helpful and talking with us. And they actually called us ahead of a few other people. Don't ask me why. When we walked in, they were on number 21 and we were number 25 when the guard handed us a little number. So there's just like hardly anyone there. But they said, no, it's always been that way, sir. Always been that way. That's what they said. 6 months, 15,000. I'm like, damn, okay, it is what it is. And so that's when we went and bought our tickets. Said, well, I'd rather pay $280 round trip for the both of us. That's combined. Spend 1 day in Taiwan, come back for a free 1 year buy, and then pay $600 for only 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So now we're stuck between a rock and a hard place that I'm just going to have to put out some money just to extend to see how long this is going to last. I really didn't want to fly out anyway, to be honest with you. We have an apartment full of stuff, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I'll fly out, but am I going to be able to get back was my big concern.
Right.
Okay.
The money and the logic. Go ahead, Philo. Go ahead.
Mitch Bromwell, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Amy Selman, let me catch up here just a second, guys. Horace McKenna, welcome to the chat. Amy Selman, welcome to the chat. Salmon, that is. Something about Horace lifting a bunch of weights. That's great, brother. Thanks. Welcome to the chat. Terrence Walters, thank you for the super chat. Rickshaw Philippines, welcome to the chat. Thank you guys for coming in. We're just talking about, by the way, Big TT there, who you see on the screen, lives in Tondo. Walter from Pirate Cove, Philippines, in the middle of your screen, lives in Malolos, Bulacan, and I am in North Caloocan City, where the city meets the province, baby. And we're talking about lockdown.
Is Walter also under lockdown?
Oh yeah, all of Luzon is now.
Yeah, I heard that last night that they made Luzon mandatory. I don't know why they didn't just from the outset. What did Manila proper have anything to do with it? I didn't get that. So problem solved. They made it all of Luzon. Well, really, it's going to be all the Philippines, I guess.
I think after the first day and all the problems that it caused, they just said, "Oh, just lock the whole island down," because that was a total fiasco that first day on the lockdown.
Yeah, because I was reading my news feeds, and when they said, of course, the lockdown in Manila, which and what it featured, of course, included nobody's flying in and out of Manila unless A, you're a returning OFW or Philippine national, B, you are a foreigner with permanent residency, or C, a diplomat. However, flights were still going to leave out of Clark. They, in fact, said that. So I was telling people in my live that were asking, I'm like, you can get in and out of Clark, but you're not going to get in and out of Manila. Well, now I'm sure that's gone by the wayside. I think even Clark.
We were talking earlier. We were talking earlier that foreigners have 72 hours to get to an airport and get on a plane and get out. After that, no more flights out. And that's supposedly both Clark and Manila. Now, what is it going to be tomorrow or the next day?
That's
Stay tuned. I mean, before this damn live chat is over, we'll go back and check our news feeds and everything. It's going to be like, wait a minute. What's going on? It's only been 2 hours. It's only been 3 hours,
No, you're right.
Everything is really rapid right now.
It's something else, I'll tell you what. You know what? Oh, yeah. And what it's doing really is, I think I was talking about this on my live last night. I was asking people, did they think or feel that undue stress was being thrown at them? Even if you're really good at keeping stress away, would this be something because of your daily routine being changed with or without your permission? Routine meaning now the kids aren't in school. If you got 2 working parents, they got to find childcare, and now you don't have a job if you're a server in a restaurant, or you don't have a job if you work sporting venues or tourist attractions, Disneyland or whatever. Your routine has just been disrupted. of course, a whole bunch of undue stress is going to be piled on a lot of people's shoulders. How would they handle that? How are they going to deal with that? And my motive to asking them that was to get them to start thinking about it now. What is your short and long-term goals, depending on how long this continues, with these stresses that are going to be placed on you, because humans are not very good when their routine is adjusted without their permission. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah.
We're not good at it. If we want to adjust our routine, that's one thing. We don't want anyone telling us how to do our routine. We don't.
And what's really scary about it is that this is basically
excuse me.
This is basically just a dress rehearsal for what could come down, a few years from now, maybe a decade from now, and have a real bad disease get going around like this. Okay? Something as bad as the plague that happened before. It's only a matter of time. All the experts have said, when they have all the doomsday scenarios, end of the world scenarios, this bug thing, a virus like this is always in there. And it's always the one that everyone says, this is the one that really could happen. And it'll be really surprising how a little virus like this can just wreak havoc across the world in a matter of no time at all. And right here is proof. We got it going right now. And it's not that terrible of a virus. It's not going to kill that many people compared to what's happened with other ones before. But look at what's happening.
Yeah, that's right. The microscopic bug, the one we can't see, is the one that I think, is the most detrimental, and because you don't know where it's coming from. You can't see it, you can't smell it, you can't hold it in your hand. If we get invaded from Martians or someone from outer space, we can see it, we can put up our defenses, we have a fighting shot, whatever. Or if the sun explodes, that one won't matter because we won't feel a thing. Or natural disasters like 6,000 volcanoes going off with the oceans cresting up over all the continents. Yeah, those are different hypotheticals. Or maybe God just reaching down with his hand and cleansing everything. I don't know, but that microscopic bug, that's the one that you can't see it, feel it, smell it, touch it, hold it, nothing, zero. But it'll kill you. It'll kill you.
And you get it from person to person, and that's making everybody not trust each other. And so when things get really bad, it's going to be, it's really going to cause a big clash with the population.
Thanks, guys, for the show going. Oozle Finch is asking, is Red Horse really all that bad? I actually like Red Horse.
Red Horse, yes.
Some
Definitely
people,
is good.
with TT, that's a big thumbs down, although I do like San Miguel Pilsner. I like San Miguel Light. So
they're both good.
No, I love it all, man.
Don't get me wrong. If I had to, I could drink a Red Horse. And I do drink Red Horse, but I don't, not through a volunteer measure.
Yeah.
When I'm cruising around my hood at night, it's a Friday night, Saturday night, and you see the Filipinos sitting down there doing their Tagay one glass, that's where you take, it's a small little juice glass. They fill it up with beer, might have a chunk of ice in it, maybe not. You kill it, and then you fill it and pass it to the next guy. They got a little plate of Paluton there in the middle. It could be fish balls, it could be donkey nuts, it could be whatever. Take your chance, and to be nice, and cordial and neighborly. Sometimes I partake and sit down, and sometimes I don't. It just depends. So, and guess what they're drinking? They're not drinking San Miguel, not at no, because they're not going to abide by the case. By the case, it costs me 25 pesos a bottle. If you buy it from the Sorry store, it averages anywhere from 10 to 13 pesos more per bottle. So you're up to 35, 37, whatever. Of course, we know what the prices in the clubs are. Anywhere from 70 to 180. It just depends how big of the club is you're in. So that being said, they're going to have Red Horse, or they're going to have gin, or they're going to have rum. And that's just the way it is. So I'll sit down, and just because I think, yep, it's time. I've walked by him several times. Tonight I'll sit down and I'll spend 30 minutes with him. That's all. And it works for me here in my hood.
There you go. Bruno Francisco says, let me catch up on the comments here, guys, real quick. Hello, Mr. Philo. To watch your videos. I'm African, living in the U.S., Massachusetts. Thank you, Bruno Francisco. Amy Stallman says something there. I think your phone did an autocorrect on you. Terrence says, buy bananas, not Red Horse. Two Beer says that's if they have a flight to get on. Okay. Philly Bryan, Angeles City is Oozle Finch. Thank you for the super chat. Now, Philly Bryan, you're saying that all jeepneys and flights are suspended also? Because we don't have that here. So that's unusual. How are people going to get to the market? Sure. You're saying trikes and jeepneys in Angeles City are shut down, not operating? Now that's pretty shocking, I think.
There you go, Philly. Go ahead and start up a food delivery service.
Yeah. Philly Bryan, grab a couple of those trike drivers and do a Philly in the Philippines, sorry store delivery to your home.
There you go.
Where are we at? Yeah, use the word chimp and not that word that should not be said in any YouTube live stream or video. I don't know if you guys knew that. If you use that word, the C word, they take your monetization away. You're not allowed to make money on the video. I already blew it in last week's live chat because that was the title.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
That's right. It was. Yeah.
If you use the C word anywhere in the video, they will take away your monetization.
I think everyone's just using the latter half of the word, the V word.
Yeah. I think it's that. And
Yeah.
I think my title today should be okay. Manila lockdown? I don't know. I might get a not suitable for most advertisers, though. We'll see. Okay, where are we at, guys? Where are we at? Terrence Walter says that Sylvia Brown, whoever that is, predicted this virus in her book before she died. She also said this virus will mutate and come back in 10 years. I don't know who Sylvia Brown is. Sorry. Horace McKenna says, I have a saying that's popular in Europe. Children drink wine, teenagers drink beer, and adults drink vodka. Children do drink wine in Europe. Yeah, they say that's one of the biggest reasons Europe has such a low heart disease rate. Don't know if it's true or not. Don't kill the messenger.
He said that's a saying? Is it a popular saying?
I don't know. In Europe, it's popular, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Robert Dyer says, okay, where are we at? Wow, okay, Philly Bryan says they are all shut down. So in Angeles, they've shut down the transportation system, which is not the case here in Manila. We still have jeepneys running, trikes. If they shut down trikes and jeepneys here, that won't have a huge effect on me and my family. But I mean, I know a lot of families that it would have a huge effect on. We've got a motorbike. We can still make it to the market or Palenque. So a lot of people rely on these trikes and jeepneys, though. I'm surprised they're doing that. Here in Manila, they're only allowing 10 people on a Jeep. So, which is what, half capacity on most jeepneys? 10 people?
Man, and if anyone believes if that's going to happen or be enforced, I got some swampland over here in Tondo you need to check out. Yeah. I don't buy that, because if they're going to isolate or limit how many people actually get on a Jeep, Do you know how many more people that leaves on the streets? They're going to want them home, get them out of there as quick as possible. So I think they're going to, that might be a spoken something or another, but I just don't see that happening. The Filipinos aren't going to care that they're jammed in there. They don't care. They want to get home. And I would think the local authorities at the street level, the deck plate level, they're going to want them to get home too. They're going to want them not massing, sitting there waiting, only 10 at a time to a jeepney. I don't see that. I just don't see that.
What are you seeing there in Tondo, Tim? The jeepneys look just normal? People are still sitting on each other's lap, or?
Yeah, yep, normal. Yep, riding off the back end, the whole 9 yards. I've not seen anything like that. And you can tell because you don't see, during rush hour, you don't see people massed at the jeepney waiting hubs. They're still packing them in.
Well, in Quezon City next door to me, they're only allowing 10 people on a jeep, and it's created just a shitstorm of people standing in the streets trying to get fighting for a jeepney because they're only allowing people on. So, boy, that's weird because you're right. I mean, you're in what's considered Metro Manila, baby. You're right in the heart of it. You are the heartbeat of Metro Manila, Tondo.
Yeah.
So it's really strange that they're not enforcing what the government's calling social distancing.
I mean, they probably are. They're trying to, but with so many people per capita per square meter here in Tondo, they're just going to end up with a secondary problem, and that is everyone picking their ass, standing on the street corner, waiting to get on the next jeep, and then that's going to create fighting and pushing and pulling. Hey, asshole, I was here first. I've been waiting an hour, So they're going to let them pack it in just to get home, pretty much. Now you get to the more epicenters of the Mall of Asia, Makati, Maladi, maybe your higher end areas. They might enforce it or tend to enforce it a little more there. It's more profile-ish. Here, get on the damn jeepney. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Well, that is what I thought also would be the case because we all know we live here and we see it. There's no enforcement of anything.
Yeah.
But it really surprises me that Angeles City had shut down all the transportation. That's crazy. People have to get places.
Mike Fruity's asking me, do my neighbors speak English well enough to hold a conversation? Conservatively, I would say one in 6, maybe. And that number goes up, skews up a little more as far as having an intelligent conversation. Most people here understand broken English enough to, if you need directions or just whatever, you're not going to sit there typically and hold a long conversation and talk about politics, the weather, fishing, whatever. You're not going to talk about that with them. It's words in passing, hellos and things like that. But as far as engaging in a real conversation, maybe 1 in 10, you can sit down and actually,
It's great to hear somebody else say that because I get hammered on that subject all the time in Facebook groups. I'll tell people exactly what you just said. And, this is the guy that comes to the Philippines on vacation once a year for 12 days. He's doing all the touristy shit where everybody speaks great English and, and they always jump in my shit and they just go, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. English is widely spoken in the Philippines. And I go, yeah, well, you know what? You move here and in 90 days, contact me and tell me just how much you believe that now. Live here every day and walk the street and you're going to find out that's not the case at all.
And I think some of us come across that, oh, yeah, we're able to get along okay with the English here because the people know enough English that we can get along. But that's a whole different thing. Like Tim was saying, as far as going out and ordering, something to eat or asking for something or this or that or directions, we are able to do that with a lot of people. But that's not having a conversation. That's
correct.
Very, very different things. So how, what are you talking about? Are you talking about, hey, where can I find a place to eat? Or, where can I do this? Or where's the bus? That's one thing. You're talking about very limited, very, very limited conversation. It's a whole different thing than sitting here talking about the virus that's going around or something.
Right.
They're not having a
And,
conversation with us right now. That's for damn sure.
and that's what you're talking about when you're asking directions to the Victory Line or to a restaurant or hospital or whatever, the bank. There'll be a couple words within that sentence structure that you ask if you speak slow enough where they're going to understand what you're trying to get at, and they can point and they'll say something. They may not even say it in English, but they get it. They understand it. Then the next second level becomes Toglish. And if you don't have your arms around Toglish, you're screwed because it's gonna mess with your head and you're not gonna understand it. Toglish basically is when they speak a sentence, the first part, it's broken into thirds. It really is. Watch on TV, the news, commercials. The first third is in Tagalog. The middle third is in English, and it ends with the last third in Tagalog. So you better be ready for that. That's what I call the second level of communication. The third level being, of course, full conversationalist that definitely understands English.
Well, I definitely live on Tagalog.
Toglish.
Toglish, I'm sorry. I definitely live by that because I'm the same way. I can pick up when they're having a conversation, and I have a whole bunch of them around here, including this one. Always out here in the workshop, and they're having a conversation. I just sit there and listen long enough, and I can pick up on what the conversation is about. Now, am I getting all the details? Of course not, but I can, kind of understand what's going on with it. And I think I surprise them sometimes by how much I pick up, but it's just because I'm picking up a little bit here and a little bit there, and that's it.
And guys, one thing that I can say, we've got 67 people in the chat now. For those of you that are here in the chat right now, if you're considering coming here, invest a little bit of time in getting some vocabulary under your belt. I used Rosetta Stone in the U.S. I studied for 2 years before I came, and I developed about a 200-word vocabulary. And you still have to, there's a step beyond that, which is called sentence structure and understanding how to make a sentence out of the words that you know. But at least if you have that vocabulary, you're going to be able to pick up on what people are talking about. In other words, you're going to understand that somebody's talking about washing the dishes or washing the car, the difference between those two. And it's very important, if you can, try and learn the language. A little bit of Tagalog goes a super, super long way here. You'd be surprised, man, the reaction that you get from a Filipino. If you can just say the word salamat, that puts a huge, giant smile on somebody's face here. Try and learn some of the language. You're going to need it. You really are.
Yeah, I like what Mike Ross says, kind of. He says foreigners who move to the Philippines don't try to learn the language. Like, really? You're in another man's country, you should speak their language. Even locals who speak fluent English would rather speak Filipino. I disagree with that, and here's the reason. I don't want to know the entirety of the language. I don't have an interest in it. I want to know enough to get by, and I want to still be able to give my wife of 38 years the opportunity to talk behind my back. So, you don't have to know it all. You don't have to know it all. You should know something. You should have a clue. It makes sense to just know the basic everyday terms. And, if you want to learn more, you can. But there again, how many people are you going out daily with and speaking full-blown Tagalog with? Or, in another man's country, as he says, Arabian or whatever, Japanese or Chinese, it doesn't matter. That's up to the individual. For me, I find it not necessary, but I know plenty to get by. So,
well, another thing that it does, if you just use a few words, and this is more like for people that you've never encountered before, is it breaks the ice, because most of them are very afraid to try to speak English, even though they actually do speak it fairly well.
That's correct.
I've come across many people that have really good English skills, but they don't think that their pronunciation is right or this is right, so they feel embarrassed by it. But if you surrender and, chop up a little bit of, their Tagalog and try to get it out. There's a little bit of a laugh and this and that, and it breaks the ice and it opens them up to speak. They don't feel quite defensive about it. And I've noticed that, and that really helps, because once they've let down their guard, you've already let down your guard a little bit. Everyone kind of laughs, and then everyone has a little bit of fun, and eventually you get what you're looking for, or your directions, or this or that. But it really does break the ice with them, because they're very, very self-conscious about making themselves look bad in front of people.
I've actually got quicker responses, believe it or not, approaching somebody and talking to them in English, even if I knew what the entire complete with correct pronunciation in Tagalog. They freak out more and are caught in shock and awe if I speak to them in Tagalog first right off than I do in English. In English, they tend to lean in a little bit more and watch your mouth or something like that. If you speak Tagalog, they just they look around like, am I with somebody, or is that it? What? You're white. What are you doing speaking Tagalog?
Yeah.
I think the fact that a white guy is down there in that neighborhood that you live in, the first part of the shock, they're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it is. It is. And once you get outside my neck of the woods here, yes, it is. You just get the stares and you go with it. It's no big deal. I just smile at them. Hey, Joe. Hey, Pedro. And so we got it going on. We have a connection.
I just always wave. Every time I hear the "Hey Joe," I just, put my hand up and give a wave. You hear it every day. Some guys get so bent out of shape about being called "Hey Joe." I read them on the Facebook groups, and they get so bent out of shape about being called "Hey Joe," and some of them will even go into a whole thing. Joe means, from Americans during the war and all that. And I'm not a damn American. I'm an Australian, or I'm a,
Too bad.
or they call me Americano, but I'm not an Americano. I'm an Australian, and they get bent out of shape. And it's like, dude, calm down. Everybody's an Americano, okay? The word to them does not mean the same as it does to us. Americano and foreigner are the same thing to them. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to think about how they're thinking. But so don't get so upset. I said, we're not all that bad anyway, but oh man, some of the guys just get irate.
Yeah, they do.
It's funny.
Okay, welcome to the chat, Jack Kane. Welcome, Overstay Farang. Eric De La Cruz, welcome. Yes, it's me, welcome. Who else? Mike Ross, if I didn't say it, welcome to the chat. You're making some good comments there. Thanks for coming to see us. We are collectively the city of Tondo, city of Malolos, and North Caloocan City, from right to left on your screen.
That's right.
Two Beers says, sorry. Mike Ross says, the Indians here learn the language so fast, it's amazing. I wonder if there are similarities in the sentence structure. 6 months here, and an Indian guy is pretty much fluent in Filipino. Well, maybe they just have a lot of discipline, Mike. I'm lazy. That's the reason I'm not more fluent in Tagalog. I'm a lazy fuck.
Me too.
I can answer that. The Indians here, and I do not like them. I don't know them. I know who they are and what they represent, and they're the local loan sharks. They're the ones that keep the poor people here poor in many cases, because they're the ones that go around and loan the money, and the interest is high. And when you take out the loan, 1,000 pesos, only $20. They come around every day, and knock, and you pay 20 pesos. And you're going to pay that 20 pesos for 3 months until you paid back 1,200 or 1,300 out of 1,000. So you're going to pay 1,300 back for that loan of 1,000. Wouldn't you learn how to speak the language too if you were running around trying to collect money? I'd learn the language real fast if I wanted my money back. Just saying.
Okay, Roger Winslow says, I've been in the Philippines for 8 years, and most Filipinos want to speak Visayan. Cebu, Negros, Mindanao, they hate Tagalog. Just learn. Well, it's geographical, Roger, that, those languages are geographical. In those areas, they speak Visayan. Up here in Luzon, the language is Tagalog. It's not Visayan. So, and I don't know how many dialects there are. There's many. Maybe Eric De La Cruz can chime in on that. I'm just a dumb foreigner. I know there's tons and tons of different dialects. I don't know how many there are, but they are regional. Okay, there's even, if you go up into northern Luzon, way up above La Union, there's a whole different language that's spoken up there. I remember Melanie saying to me when we were in 100 Islands that she had a hard time keeping up with the language of some of the people there because they're speaking a different dialect. And, okay, almost 100 different dialects that are in use here in the country now. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There are dialects in some of the far-reaching islands, and I mean, damn near remote, where only as little as a couple hundred or less people speak it. It's a unique dialect. Now, that's why there's so many, all the way up through Visayan and Tagalog, the big ones. But there's so many. But these smaller ones, they're eventually going to die away. They're going to die away, and the reason is because of the advent of social media. It's going to reach them if it hasn't already. And so they're going to see, they're going to learn, people are going to die off, and these secular small dialects ultimately will go away.
Yeah.
But yeah, up here they teach English and Tagalog. The two recognized languages here in the Philippines on record officially are English and Tagalog. Visayans will argue that point, but go look it up. That's what it is. There really should be a third, Taglish, because they use it so much.
It's true.
Or whatever the language that's spoken after a bottle of Emperador. That should be a national language too.
That's true. That's true.
If you're sitting at the table with 3 of your buddies and you've already done one bottle of MP, that's a whole different language in itself.
It is.
It should be recognized as a national language.
I think there's a different language too when your Philippine wife is experiencing tampo, isn't there?
Yeah, it's called complete silence.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a different language. Can you repeat that, honey? Can you repeat that, honey? I couldn't hear you because you never said nothing.
I'm there quite a bit myself, unfortunately.
Yep, James Longren, that's right. Ilongo is another language. There's so many dialects, so many. But the small ones that I was talking about, and they're out there because I watched. I did some research and then I watched some footage on it, and they say these really tiny, microscopic small dialects, they're going to die out because of the advent of old people dying off and this stuff here. If it hasn't reached them yet, it will, and their dialect will die off one by one, and then we'll be long. All of us will be long gone by the time the whole country condenses, probably down to just a handful. And then those that remain are for historical and museum purposes only, something like that,
Hey, everybody, I did see the comments about the bananas, so I'm going to self-medicate here.
Oh, I'll go get one too.
Hey, do we have any bananas? They're both eating bananas.
No, give me some
Uh-oh.
I need bananas.
Yeah, my wife said she needs bananas, but she's holding her phone up, meaning she wants a 1K banana.
Too late. The kids are online already. If you've got kids, you got to hide food, Yeah, you never get any. Okay,
Don't
where are
have
we?
that problem.
Yeah. Let's see. Where are we at? Where are we at? Lance O'Brien says that you guys are doing okay with what's going on with this virus. It's horrible when I am from San Jose, California. Robert Dyer says 100 different languages there. Somebody else says 170 different dialects. Roger Winkle says only 50 dialects. Eric De La Cruz says Taglish is more popular. Yeah.
Yeah, Eric De La Cruz is right. They are re-educating tribes, whatever, to teach their children their language and hold on to the culture, whatever. True. Somebody ultimately, somewhere, is going to retain some of it. But as far as everyday use, with a lot of people, that's the part that's going to die out. Somebody will still retain it somewhere, but the bulk of it will die away.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 2 beers. Happy anniversary to you and your wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, happy anniversary.
I thought that was like a month ago, but I remember you talking about it. You were asking for advice on what to do on your 20-year anniversary.
What is that?
James Lonergan, when I walked into the Nike store at Ayala Mall in Baco Road, all of the employees in their 20s were speaking English to me, of course, asking questions.
Oh, I got a better one than that for you. Not long after I got here, I decided, I needed some new white skivvies, okay? Because I didn't pack very many when I packed. So I decided to go to the mall and I would get some. And I walk in and there's a whole section, big section of tidy whities, right? And then there's 6 really good looking young ladies right in my face wanting to help me pick out my tidy whities, okay? Sorry, but it was a little weird, okay? Now, this was when I first got here. This was the first few months I was here, maybe not even 6 months. Well, that was unusual because you know how it is back in the States. You go to Walmart and there isn't nobody that's going to help you. And that's fine.
No.
When you're picking out your tidy whities, we can do that, okay? We're grown men. We can pick out our tidy whities with no problem. Put them in the basket, cover it with something else, and off we go to the cash register. But here, no. I got 6 or 7. I'm talking about gorgeous young ladies in their 20s, and they got them out and they're holding them up and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, dear God, help me get out of here. Now it's like, I show up and I go, I'm expecting the show. So now it's a whole different thing. But the first time is awkward.
Here they are taught, and they are notorious. I don't care what kind of store you walk in. They're notorious for being a shopper stalker. They really are. They are on you. Bam.
Yeah.
I'll drift into a store, like 3 of them. Yeah. Yes, sir. Can I help you? This, that, and the other. And, you walk in the doors, you make a left, and you barely start moving down a rack of whatever, shirts or anything, or shoes. And they're just coming from 2 different directions. And it's like, I don't even know what you all have in here. Can I have a minute? They don't mean nothing by it, but yeah, they are really shopper stalkers here. And that's just how they're taught to be friendly and courteous and helpful and whatever. But you're right, Walmart, you could be in there and just looking for hours, man. It's like, does anybody man this department? Yeah, at 2 a.m. when they're restocking, that's it.
That's it.
Here in the Philippines, you've got 16 girls manning a department that 2 girls could easily handle.
Yes, there's so many of them. They're stacked up on top of each other. They really are.
Completely bizarre. I don't know how anybody makes any money, You've got 2 girls working and 14 that are standing around with this blank.
But why can't they do that at McDonald's and the Jollibees and the Burger Kings, early morning breakfast and lunch? You go in there, there's 6 registers, 2 are manned, and you got two long snaky lines practically going out the door, and you're looking at this like, what? Is this a labor saving move or what's going on? Somebody calling sick all the time, all the time. They don't get it. They don't get it. And there is no 1-800 number to call the area manager to complain.
Yeah, good luck with that. If you did call it, they wouldn't answer. Eric De La Cruz, sadly, during these lockdowns, a lot of these ladies have no work. That's true. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's going to be rough on a lot of people.
How serious are things going to be here when people are now 3 weeks, close, going on a month without a paycheck? How serious are things going to become? Dennis Brock, good morning, sir. Welcome to the chat. Mike Capacilio, good morning. Welcome to the chat. Dennis, cheers. Okay. Looks like I finally caught up.
Yeah, you're doing good, brother.
I was pretty behind there for a while.
Yeah, it's hard to control. It comes and goes. If the panel is talking, and all of a sudden that's when all the comments start flying, then it's like you're way behind. And then sometimes the panel's talking and everyone's listening and not saying much. So it bounces back and forth. That's what I've discovered.
Always a good though.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. So I'll let you know more as we get towards the end of the month, or probably by the first of next month, what we actually do visa wise. So I'm not worried. Nothing like that. It's just I think I'm going to pay a little bit more money earlier or initially. I don't know how to look at it than I expected to. Put it that way. So less than $300 for us to fly round trip for 24 hours, 1 year free buy-in stamp, versus now $600 to stay here for 6 months. In the end, it doesn't matter. It's it is what it is. But because she's getting her dual, and then she's going to petition me for 13A, there's a slight chance I still may move toward the SRV. I've got so much paperwork already done for probably both of them, because I was already prepping in the States. So we're in good shape when it comes to that. Then after that, it's just a matter of sitting it out and waiting time, or greasing of the palm somewhere along the way and expediting. Who knows? I'm not saying that takes place here.
No, of course not.
But we'll see what happens. And I'm in no hurry for it. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. But I was trying to do it on my dime, on my terms. That's how we were trying to proceed with it. We're not forced into anything. Regrettably, now this is kind of forcing our hand to some degree. And so what do? I still need the time to finish processing, and she'll get her dual citizenship, and in whichever direction I go, 13A or SRRV, we still need some time. So if I go there and pay a month, and if I did it monthly that way for the both of us before she's a dual or whatever, that's over 10 grand, 11 grand a month. So if I do it for 3 months, I've surpassed the 15,000 for 6 months. So that would seem a logical move right now. Just pay the 15,000 and each, and then there you go, 6 months. Or I can wait, just pay for a month, leave those tickets on the books, and book it after that, and then fly out and come back and but to me, that's such a risk right now, especially about getting back in. Now, I'm sure I can fly out, but getting back in is the trick.
Yeah, definitely.
Eric De La Cruz is asking, Walter, how is Caloocan doing so far?
Yesterday things seemed all normal here, but I have noticed on our main street outside hardly any traffic today. I haven't been out to either of the major sections of town yet today to see what's actually going on. So I'll just have to wait and see. What's going on out in town today? What are you hearing?
A lot of people.
A lot of people what? In the shop? Yeah, we're supposed to be closed, but the shop is open.
Yeah, look what happened to Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. They had to cancel their meet and greet scheduled for third week of April. That's too bad. All the rooms that were booked and all
that's
that.
right. Yeah, I didn't even think about that one. People can't get to it at all.
No, but I am going to try to make a trip down there whenever I can. And I'm going to try to negotiate all the beer that was backstocked for the event. I'm going to make an offer they can't refuse.
Oh dear.
It's something to do, you know.
Mike Ross is asking, to Philo, what's the status of your hand? Did you find a solution? Are you riding again? Mike, I am riding. We haven't done any long distance rides though. I'm still going to have a problem on a long distance ride. It's just, that's old man's disease, you know? Just the way it is.
Here's an interesting one. Oozle Finch is saying he hopes the VFA does not go away. He was coming in May to do the SRV. Now, who knows when he'll be there? Wait a minute. Are you active duty? Because I think tell me if I'm wrong. The VFA only applies to active duty American troops. So if you're active duty, is that what you're referring to? But if you're not, you can still get the SRV, and you don't even have to be retired military. You just have to have been in the military and over 50 to get that courtesy one. I'm pretty sure. Isn't that correct, Walter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that VFA only applies to VFA is like when a ship pulls in here to Manila for Liberty, a carrier and a cruiser and a destroyer. They can move about and go on Liberty without securing visas. That's what the VFA is for. It's an agreement.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing than getting the SRRB.
Yes.
But the SRRB applications, I did see something that they're suspended right now. So they're not accepting any new ones, at least for now. So
SRVs?
Yeah. They've suspended just because of the lockdown.
Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say, because why would they want to throw away a chance of making at least 1,400 peso or 1,400 bucks on the application fee and another 1,500 secured in a Philippine bank for investment purposes? That that sounds like a no-win situation to me.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the visiting forces agreement. That nothing to do with that. That only came about with the lockdown. So don't you'll be able, and you can also do your communication with them, by email. If you're in the States or even here, you can communicate with their office and start setting things up and getting your steps out of the way and making sure that you're getting everything set up so that when you can apply for it, everything will be all, in order and, go right through. So
and you guys are on 13As, right? I'm sorry. You guys are on 13As?
That's the SRRV.
No, are you two, Philo and Walter, are you both on a 13A currently?
I'm 13A.
I'm Balikbayan.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Big E in Cebu, welcome to the chat. G. Biscoe, welcome to the chat. You guys are laughing about something that we missed. Clyde Seaside says, I think the government is watching foreigners on YouTube. I said on TT's live stream that there will have to be food banks or food kitchens at the barangay level, and this morning the government announced it. Oh, then it just jumped. Big E in Cebu says the government is monitoring live streams. Goodness, I hope not.
I think they got a few other things going right now.
Eric De La Cruz confirms what Clyde said, that President Duterte instructed the barangay captains to make rounds and submit reports to the palace so the DSWD will be able to bring what's needed in the communities. Wow. I can't imagine them doing that unless they shut down the Pure Gold and the Save More. What the hell?
Yeah.
Lance is saying that he's heard there was a lockdown in Mindanao, especially in the Davao City area, and that's happening in quite a few different areas, not just here on Luzon. The mayors and governors of different areas have the leeway to do that. So I think you're going to see a lot more of it. I know it's going on in Cebu right now. They're locking down Cebu pretty good, also quite a bit.
My wife just told me that they just announced that they want all the sorry stores, all the small mom and poppers to close down, and they want people to exclusively shop at the intermediate to big boy stores for food.
Oh no, I hope they don't do that.
A lot of these people live off just that sorry store. A lot of people.
There's nothing better than walking 2 doors down and picking up something that you need, in a snap.
Right.
I think the concern is because of the close contact and the handling by the sorry store shopkeepers, and what they're handling back and forth. The money, handing out candies to the kids, food, in a lot of cases, food sources, cooked food, whatever, drinks, whatever. I think that's what the concern is. It's too much of a close proximity and
Right.
interaction. Whereas the bigger stores are going to probably be crash trained on distance, mask, sanitation, gloves, whatever. You're not going to see that at a sorry store. You're just not going to see that. So I think that's where the concern is.
I went to Robinson's supermarket yesterday morning, and they had 2 guards in there, or they had a guard and he had an assistant with him, whether he was a guard. But anyway, both of them had rubber gloves on, they had masks on, and one's spraying your hands and the other is taking your temperature. And that was to get in the door for the supermarket.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we went the other day, we were in the Save More. There were probably at least 3 different girls stationed throughout the Save More with an alcohol bottle, and they would offer you a spray if you wanted, So, as well as at the front door, and they're using the gun, the laser gun on your forehead here, for temperature. Okay, Clyde Seaside makes a good point there. Something that I didn't. I mean, we talked about this earlier in the live stream about how serious things are going to get because there's so many people that are out of work. Because the supermarkets might be open, but the people have no money, so they will need charity food to live. That's true. That's very true.
I'm trying to sneak out. The curfew right now, as it stands, is 8 p.m. to 5 or 4. I forget, whatever. But I'm trying to sneak out after 8. And I want to vlog the empty streets of Toronto.
Yeah.
And my wife doesn't want me to. I'm like, what the hell, man? It's how adventurous I am. That's just the way it is. And what are they going to tell me? I'm just going to give him the no habla speech, said I didn't know. What are they going to do? Send me home or throw me in jail? She said, they'll probably throw in jail. I said, okay, so at least I get out of my mandatory 30-day sentence in my house for a day, right?
Just shrug your shoulders like everybody else does. I don't know.
What? I can't be out here? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's worth a shot. But anyway, my barangay, they know me, so that's one deal. And as long as I stay on the shorter side streets, actually, I was actually contemplating going talking to the barangay chairman because I donated a case, 400 packets of 3-in-1 coffee to them. That's $35. Because they give it to their night patrol guys. So I've scored some points, and that was a long time ago. But I always say hi to him. He says hi to me, whatever. So I may just go up and ask him and say, "Hey, dude, I'm a YouTuber and a blogger. He knows it. I'm say, can I come out here in like a quasi semi-official capacity, like I'm doing something? I just want to vlog the ghost town of Tondo." We'll see.
It's I tell that to a lot of people. It's always good to be in with your barangay. Whether it's a small donation like that or drop in when you first show up with a pizza or some donuts and introduce yourself, something like that. My wife with the business here, she does a lot of work for the barangay. And so she she gives them pretty good deals on their shirts and different things like that. And then we have several of the barangays up and down the street here next to us and even beyond that come here, and they get a lot of their work done. So hopefully the barangays all know me well enough. I can get around and not be bothered too much, but I'm just wondering how much the military and police are going to be in this area. Malolos is the capital of Bulacan, so I would think that you'll see some going on here, but I just don't know about my area right here.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a presence there.
Somewhere around here, but every little area can be different. You can go 2 kilometers over, and things are completely different there. So you just never know. Next few days, things are going to change. I'm sure there's going to be some adjustments to all this, one way or the other. It's hard to even know how it's going to go.
Yeah, you'll probably see a presence of sorts if that's the capital of that, Bulacan area? Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Malolos is the capital.
Would you see that down here deep in the heart of Tondo? My guess is maybe the lowest grade, lowest level police, maybe just barely above a barangay captain or chairman, whatever. But mostly I think they're going to let the individual, there's just too much area to cover and
Right.
too many people and too many streets and too many alleyways and too many rat tunnels and there's just too many. So they're going to keep them bigger boys out in the big Mecca boulevards and avenues and things like that. I believe.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. The main thoroughfares and stuff like that is where they're going to have to work because there's just not going to be enough. Military included or not, there's still just not going to be enough of them.
Big E's asking me if there's a shortage in Tondo for beers. No chance. No chance. But prior to you coming in the room, Big E, they're witnesses to it. My boy just brought 2 more cases of San Miguel Pale Pilsen, Walang Katapad. Yeah, there's beer. Even if the Sorry stores close, even if I couldn't get my 2 cases from the local distribution center here, which also has, the Coke, the Sprite, the Sarsi, the Orange, it's a bottling, distribution place. I guarantee you, I send my wife outside and go to a Sorry store, even if they're closed. She's going to go to the side or the back door, knock on the door. They're going to hand out beer. Even if it's Red Horse or San Miguel Light or whatever, they're going to hand it out the door. So I don't expect a shortage. Or neighbors who already have some, they're probably going to want to trade that to me for rice or food. Who knows? You never know. You never know. Or a little bit of money. So I don't think I'll run out. I'll be okay.
I think the government's going to make sure the beer keeps flowing, and that'll keep the troops happy because
keep them happy. That's right.
Then you're definitely going to have people rioting if they're not getting their beer.
Yeah, if they can sit home and suck on their beer, their gin, or whatever, and be miserable at least with a buzz, that's better than being miserable with no buzz.
That's it.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to go have lunch. The wife would like to treat me to lunch. Isn't that funny? Now she wants to spring for lunch. But guess what? All she's doing is over there making it on the stove. I said, how come when we go out, you never buy? So
hey, well, at least you're getting lunch.
She's buying lunch today right here in the house. So that's pretty cool. So I will see you later. Nice to talk to you again, Walter, and everybody in the chat room. And Philo, thanks for having me on. Everyone just take care, man. Just take care. Be the best you can be, and expect changes in your routine. Be an adult and process yourself through it. There's nothing you can do about it. Bitching and hollering and whining and kicking and screaming. Then go hang out with the 3 and 4-year-olds because things are going to happen that we don't want to happen because it's going to disrupt us. So you just have to take a chill pill and freeze. That's it. Just go with the flow and see how everything unfolds. Matter of fact, the best thing you can do is be supportive. You have to be supportive to some degree. If everyone starts going anti this and anti that, then we're going to have a real mess. We will definitely have a real mess. So that's just my BS piece of advice. It's not worth the paper you would write it on. But yeah, if you
No,
show
but I think
some,
you're right on.
yeah,
I
instead
think,
of
I think you're right
fighting
on the
it
money.
and fighting and bitching and hollering, yeah, things are going to happen we don't like, but nobody asked for this to happen anyway. So
No.
expect your routine to get jostled around a little bit and just go with it. Just go with it, and happier days are ahead. That's all you can do.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, I'm out. I'm heading out. I'm going to have lunch with my wife, and y'all take care, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for having me on, Philo. Good talking to you.
Hey, take care,
Best
Tim.
of,
Good to
best
see
of
you
both
again.
your wives for me, and we'll see you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
buddy. See you next week.
Peace out. You got it.
Well, I think he's got the right idea. It's about time for some lunch, huh?
Yeah, I agree. Walter, thanks for joining us today, brother.
Hey, I enjoy it. Again, your live streams are getting real good.
Well, there's 64 in the room, guys. Don't forget to check out Pirate Cove Philippines. Don't forget to check out Tropical Tim in the Philippines. Okay? 2 great channels, and they're guys that contribute a ton here. They really do. All right? So,
Yeah, be sure to tune in next Tuesday. I'm sure it's going to be about maybe 6 changes by then. Who knows?
who knows where we're going to be. We're just hoping for the best here, you guys.
You may have to do a live stream every other day or something to keep up with all the new info.
I was thinking about maybe doing a second one. Maybe doing a second one on a Friday or something.
You may have to. It's the way things are going.
Yeah.
It's really strange. But yeah, we're all okay. You can see we're just nothing's going to bother us here. We'll
That's
be
right.
all right.
We're going to
Well,
march. That's what we do here.
I think Tim said it really well. You know, you just got to take a chill pill. You got to go with the flow a little bit. You got to be supportive of it, and just be ready for, things are probably going to change, and it may not be the best, but hey, we're okay.
That's right. Kids stay in house. No, kids stay out. Just advisory. Another 3 kids said stay in. Kids, I said, if you're not martial law, they chased me for not wearing a mask. Huh? I don't know what you're saying there, Rickshaw. I was surprised to hear that alarm go off last night when the barangay came through and told everybody to get in their homes at 8 p.m.
Wow.
That's where I kind of went, shit, things are getting pretty serious here. They don't want you to leave your house past 8 p.m. Lance O'Brien. Okay, where are we at? 2 hours and 30 minutes. Wow, we've still got 60 people in here. That's amazing. That was a really successful live stream.
Time flies when we're having fun in the lockdown. We're on Lockdown Island.
That's right. Rob Mar 40, welcome to the chat. We're just about to shut down, brother. Sorry. Walter, thanks for joining us.
Hey, great to get in here. I'll definitely be available anytime.
I will be. Me too.
Unfortunately, yeah, there's nowhere else I can go right now. So
if I decide to do a Friday, I'll let you know. Okay.
Yeah, let me know ahead of time. That always helps.
John,
all right, I'm going to slide out of here. Let you go ahead and wrap up your channel.
Thank you, buddy.
Everyone, take care and be safe and just take care. We'll all be fine.
That's right.
See you guys on the next one. Okay.
Thanks again, Walter.
All right. Bye.
Okay, guys. Let me catch up on just a few more comments here before we shut it down. Very successful live stream. John Rosario, I don't know where Joseph is. Joseph is always welcome on here. So he hasn't been here for the last couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on with Joseph. He normally always joins our live stream, so maybe next week. Anthony Keller says I'm in Bayawan, and it's locked down as well. Yeah, everybody is. It's the same pretty much everywhere. Flawless Phil, welcome, and thanks for joining us. We're gonna. Thanks for the use of the wrench on the trolls. Huh. Ouzelfinch, thanks for the use of the wrench. Oh, yeah, we had a couple of weirdos in here today. You have to expect that. I wouldn't feel like a successful channel unless I had a couple of weirdos in here talking shit. The Hapsters, hello from Hawaii. We are just about to log off. We've been on for almost, well, actually, we've been on for 2 hours, 35 minutes. That's about my limit. Thank God I had these other guys in here. I didn't lose my voice this week. Last week on the live stream, I started Tropical Tim, big party at at my house here tonight. Everyone is invited. Free booze, women, rooms, all bite steak, lobster, and shrimp. That's tempting. Thanks, Tropical Tim, again for your contribution today. John Rosario, okay. Sweet Perry, hey. Did you watch Melanie's? Yeah, she's something, right? You gotta love it when you've got a wife that's, that looks like Melanie. She's super hot, and she climbs mango trees and gets you delicious mangoes to eat for a merienda. She's a great girl and a great climber. You should see her sister. Her sister goes up that tree like, it's scary how high she goes. But Melanie, she's not scared to go up that tree. Oh, by the way, The Adventure of Malai is my wife's channel. Make sure and check that out. You guys all know Melanie so well. Many of you have already subscribed to my wife. She just threw a video up. Didn't she put that up yesterday? Yeah. She is climbing the mango tree and picking mangoes. Man, she did a great job. She's quite the climber. I couldn't do it with my knee. My knee just doesn't allow me. Plus what's going on with me right now with the enlarged prostate. It's not a good idea for me to do anything too physical till I can get checked out. The Hapsters, can you put a link on here so I can watch it? Oh, a link from my wife's channel? Yeah, that's a good idea. Why not? Just a second, Hapsters. Let me The Adventure of Malai is my wife's channel. Does some great vlogs. She's really good at the thumbnails. I should do a better job on thumbnails like she does, But, like I told you guys before, I'm kind of lazy. That's a problem here in the Philippines. You get lazy when you come here. So here we go. Let's copy this. Those of you who don't know or aren't subscribed to Melanie, my wife, here is the link. Please subscribe. Oh, James beat me to it. James, thanks, buddy. James is the best wrench ever. If you need a wrench, hire James. I will say that for sure. Oh, wait, what happened? There you go. All right, that is Ring a Rat. Oh, Tim, we've got plenty of those. All I got to do is reach up in the ceiling and grab one. We've got a couple of rats in the ceiling that are driving me nuts. I'm so pissed about it. I mean, what do you do? It's the Philippines. We got rid of them for a long time. We were rat free in the ceiling for probably 3 months, 90 days, which is a long time in the Philippines to be rat free. And now they're back. We don't know how they're getting in. We did a lot of work over a couple of months, closing off all the holes, all the ways they can get in, and somehow we're going to have to figure out where it's at. They've probably eaten through the plywood or something, and they're getting in again. So we're going to set some bait up there and, you know, do our thing. You want trivia? Hire me as a wrench. You want trivia? Huh? Eric? You are now a wrench. There you go. Leave me another comment so I can see the wrench, Eric. There you go. Eric De La Cruz, you are now an official wrench on Philo in the Philippines live stream. Yeah, baby. Sometimes James can't be here. So, you know. All right, you guys. Let's see. Sorry. Anytime, Eric. You have always contributed here, you know. It's something that's well earned for you. You've always been a great contributor to my channel. And not only that, but the information that you have, you know. You're Filipino, you live here. You kind of offset us dumb foreigners, you know, because that's what we are. We're just dumb foreigners. We don't know what's going on here. Sometimes we need the help. Okay. That's going to end it, you guys. Thank you so much. Wow, there's still 47 here. Thank you so much for a very, very successful live stream today. Thank you to Pirate Cove Walter, Pirate Cove Philippines, Tropical Tim in the Philippines. You don't know these guys, check them out. Great channels. And the Hapsters. Okay. Thank you, you guys. Yeah, time for lunch. Let's go have lunch. Thanks again. We'll see you next Tuesday, and we'll see you on the next video. Maybe while this is going on, we'll try and do 2 live streams a week. Maybe I'll do I used to do Tuesday and Friday. Maybe I'll go back to doing the Friday also. And see how that goes, you know. We seem to have a really good time here. We've got a great community on Philo in the Philippines, our subscriber base. And we always have a good time in here. So we'll see, okay? If nothing else, I've got some great video content for you guys, including government cattle walking down the streets of our little barangay here, which always blows your mind to see. You know, the cattle just run wild here. So anyway, thanks again for your support. And we'll see you guys next week on the live stream and on the next video. Thank you so much. Bye now.